Well, welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Basin, and joining yet again is co-host Jason Juggling J. Ford. What can we say, Jay?
I'm quiet.
We're smiling.
I'm smiling bigger than yours.
Why would that be?
You know. You know all about it.
Just one. One is enough, isn't it?
Hello.
What Jay is talking about is our picks from last weekend. But we got bigger smiles on our faces because of the accomplishment of the under-17 girls advancing to the CONCACAF finals in Nicaragua next year. This after they defeated Jamaica and drew with Trinidad, and then Jamaica defeated Trinidad to earn Bermuda the top spot. Lost to Haiti in the final, but we'll get to all of that after this message from our sponsor.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, Jay, last night, my ears are still ringing.
Yes. Air horns.
Oh, my gracious. Whistles and
Yes.
More than 200 people. It was heartwarming to see the reception that our under-17 women's national team received coming back from Haiti.
And well deserved.
Yes, indeed. They were greeted by the premier, the sports minister, other members of parliament, family, friends, and people they didn't even know. Just coming to wish them or congratulate them on their overall performance and to get ahead of wishing them well and offering support for their next journey, which will be in Nicaragua next year. They're talking about April. But with CONCACAF, you just never, ever know.
Yeah, it's still, obviously, they're still going through the transitional stage.
Mm-hmm.
Still a lot of things that are moving parts, you will see, with the new president.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully, we'll get to know sooner than later and who our opponents will be.
Yeah, they got to make a draw.
Yeah. So, because that's going to help us to prepare. Obviously, the coaches will probably be looking at a pool of teams and try to narrow it down a bit, but we can't really do much without a draw.
Right, and the one other thing we have to wait for is the South American Championships to take place as well to see who will join into that pool. But when you look at the likes of USA, Mexico, Canada, Haiti, Bermuda, and Jamaica, for us, it's a tall order, but as talking with Coach Nikita Robinson last night, again, it's that she wants that consistency of getting to this point. Once we master getting to this point on a regular basis, then we start concentrating on improving week in and week out and day in and day out. And
well, Earl, and you said a word just now with Coach Robinson, consistency. And not to just, downplay the situation, but that's been the problem with our national programs in general. Once they finish a competition, they almost go dormant.
They dissolve.
And then it's okay, let's try to get some players back together. Unlike this group, they pretty much kept this group together. They
were the under 15s a year ago.
Exactly. And so you can see what happens when you keep the nucleus together. And I'm going to keep going back. We do not have a women's league. So that's even more of a challenge.
Right. But if we don't have a league and getting this success, don't get a league.
Well, yeah, but we're scared to not get a league now. But Earl, this actually, I don't know, where do you put the earners on? Because the buy-in that you've got to have, these young ladies have to see something that they've never seen before. That's one of the hardest things for a coach.
Right.
To make somebody believe in something, even believing in themselves, because they've never been there.
Right. Right. One of the things I would say, what the belief has been, is the fact that some of these girls without a league have been able to get scholarships.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a good start. Then, hey, we could beat some of these teams in the Caribbean that we've never beaten before if we just do this. They started seeing the light of that. With the help of colleges and high schools coming down to Bermuda, playing these girls at a young age, yeah, they were losing early, but then they started matching them. They started playing to a system. They started playing to some fundamentals. And in the end, these are some of the small accomplishments that, and I call this a small accomplishment because if you talk to any of the coaches, we're not there yet.
Yeah. And they would have to be there. They would have to keep driving that because you don't know where the ceiling is. See, we're busted through the ceiling now.
Right. Our ceiling, yeah, we busted through that.
Busted through that.
Yeah. Now we're into the world ceiling.
Yeah. So we don't know where that is. And now it's just a matter of keeping the ladies fit, which is because when you look at the size of some of these ladies we're playing against in stature.
Yeah, I need to see a few passports, Dave.
You know, we tend to favor the smaller size.
Yes.
So fitness, we got to say, you know what? Let's be the team to be fitter than any other team in the region. Let's be the team to really hone it on our strategy, our form, what we want to play, and then to make teams adjust to us.
Yeah.
And I think if that concentration on that first, and I think that's already been done. Right. But if you keep that, it doesn't matter if you lose or win. If you know that these girls have put 120% out there and stuck to the game plan, well, hey, you know what? Sometimes it could be a bad game plan. Yeah. It happens. Or a team is just better on the day. And we're going to talk about a team being better on the day coming up in the Premier Division over the weekend because looking on paper, nobody would have never, ever gave this team a hope or a prayer.
Two people, though.
I know what. Well, yes. No, I didn't think he knew.
Two people.
Two people?
I'll tell you later on, though, who those two people are. Well, I know who you know one is. Yes. But I'll surprise you with the other person.
Okay.
Yeah. But actually, let's get the arrival of the women's under-17 national squad at the LF Wade International Airport last night.
Still whistling.
Yeah, it's in my ear.
Okay, so just wow. We already spoke to the girls inside, so we're not going to be long. We really want to thank you for all the support, and I'll let the girls do that as well. The support's been island-wide. As you can see, Demco Florists is coming in and providing them with flowers. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, but it's still more work to be done. So I'm just going to now hand over to the minister, and then we have the premier first, and then we have the minister afterwards. Peace.
I'm just going to echo what the... to echo what the president of the Bermuda Football Association said, that the support for our young ladies has been incredible. What they've accomplished is great. It must be celebrated, and we look forward to them accomplishing more things. It is an honor to be here to represent the people of Bermuda, and it is an honor for me to say, on behalf of all of you and everyone in Bermuda, congratulations on your accomplishment.
Our girls, everyone, our girls. Shall we call them Princess Gumbears? All right, listen. Just to echo what the president and the premier said, I too, like everyone else here tonight, is so proud of you girls. All I'm going to say is, keep on, keeping on. Next year in Nicaragua, here you come.
I only have one thing to say. It's already been said. Bermudian girls!
And now we just have a few words from the skipper.
Come on, Skipper.
Good evening, everybody. I am in shock at how many people are here. I'm really happy with all the support that we've gotten from the whole island. I wish that our overseas players could be here to get all of this love and support that we hear from everybody. Our girls worked really, really hard for this opportunity that we've earned by working our tails off 6 days a week. We've trained, we've worked, we put in the extra time, the extra energy, training on our own. I really just want to thank everybody for supporting us. This is really overwhelming, and I know my team will say the same. Thank you so much. We love you guys, and thank you.
All right.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Evening, sir. How you doing? A bit overwhelming for me, but well deserved by the girls. We were the youngest team in the tournament. We had the youngest captain, leading goal scorer. We were the only team to score on Haiti. We maintained our unbeaten streak against Trinidad. So well done, girls. The important thing is that the support by everybody here. That's what got them through. We spent a lot of time talking about what it means to be Bermudian, what it means to be resilient, and they proved that. But what I'm challenging the players to do now is to be humble, stay focused, because the job's not done. Thank you.
All right.
I know that's on. I have to help you go. Am I going who?
Oh, Danny, you guys went down with a mission. What would you say? Mission accomplished?
Yes, I would say mission accomplished. We went and we did what we had to do, and we qualified for Nicaragua.
After the Trinidad game, obviously we spoke about, what you guys felt you had to do against Jamaica in order to get through. But then it was agonizing waiting on Friday night to find out what that result was going to be. Watching that game, what was going through your mind?
Well, really, I knew that Jamaica was going to beat Trinidad, but in my mind, I was really thinking Jamaica better score, you know. But in the end, they came out with the right results, and we ended up going through.
So what was the team atmosphere like when the final whistle blew for Jamaica Trinidad?
It was amazing. Leilani came up like, we made it to Nicaragua, girls, and everybody started cheering. It was a great feeling, great feeling.
So going into the Haiti game, not a lot of pressure, but you want to do well in a final. Some of the things you guys came out on the positive side of that final.
Yes, I would say so. We scored a goal against Haiti, which was really good. And I feel like we defended very well. We kept them really tight, and they didn't score most of the goals until late second half. So I feel like we accomplished a lot by keeping them nervous and making them play good football.
Now the real work has to begin. How are you plan to motivate your girls to continue training and you training even harder?
I just pretty much just keep talking to them, keep them encouraged, keep them engaged, and make sure our mindsets are ready for Nicaragua, and I think we can do good.
All right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, we're going to stay with football, and obviously on Sunday, mouth dropping.
Yeah, start with the shock. Just let's get the shock game out of the way.
Needed some jumper cables.
The shock game out of the way, please.
Bernard Park.
Let's if you go back on YouTube and look at the last show.
He said multiple girls. Yeah, I did. I said there was no way I could see Crossroads beating North Village. I was going to see a lot of girls.
I tried to give him some hope, but then I fell to his...
I led you astray.
Yes. And I said, well, probably be more than I expected. But that was the last show.
Yeah.
What happened at Bernard's Park?
Crossroads scored twice and North Village scored once.
After
a
good free kick from Terran Free.
Yeah, but no other way I could describe. Listen, whilst I was at that particular game, yes, right, I felt it was only a matter of time before North Village would score. If you look at the video of the game, I think Taj got the ball from his defenders more than across or anything from across, because they didn't look like they were. But I think after leaving, talking to a few people, North Village would have fallen into that sense of, we'll score at any time. And when they did score, sure, let's relax. Mm-hmm. We'll get another one. We'll be all right. But when that equalizer came, you try to change gears again, and not all the time does that work for you.
So I'm going to ask you a question here, right? Do you think the system that Crossroads played against North Village hindered them, or the fact that North Village underestimated?
I think it was more down to the players on the field not executing the game plan. So I think it came down to North Village underestimating Crossroads. If we get a chance to talk to someone like Devar, he would highlight the shortcomings of players trying to do things that the system, is out of the realm of the system. He likes to keep possession of the ball, knock it around, but you had guys trying to do things, even when I was there, trying to do things that wasn't in the sort of style that they play.
PlayStation style?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Yeah.
Well, I get it.
But, he constantly talked about keeping the ball, keeping possession, because that, to be honest, that wears an opponent down. Eventually, you get on top. Keyshawn Bean had a shot from a good distance. I was about to put my camera in the hands of the goalkeeper because he stood and watched it hit the upright. So I said it's only a matter of time. But obviously,
you mentioned something just now, and I just watching Premier EPL over the weekend. And you mentioned that word, and you hear a lot of coaches stressing a lot of it, possession. But one thing about possession doesn't win you a game.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. But for some teams, possession.
I can see, and there's many cases where a team can have 75% possession of the game,
right,
and lose.
Right. Yeah. Because the other teams were a little more direct and get that goal. But possession allows you to build into what you want to get out of it. Now, if the final third is not working with that possession,
that's better.
Then you have to change a little bit. You change your strategy in the final third. But you stick to that system of keeping the ball.
Possession for me, possession without creating chances doesn't mean anything.
No.
That means you just passing the ball back.
Oh, yeah. We could do that outside the yard.
Right.
Yeah. Because we keep possession.
But if possession creating chances, now we're talking something.
Right.
And that would be something that, on the day sometimes, that luck just doesn't go your way.
Yeah.
So, but in saying that, this is the second game in a row that Crossroads
have won,
and leapfrogged a few teams down the bottom.
Well, let's go to Friday night. Because one of the teams are now rock bottom, all alone.
Hello down there.
The Somerset Trojans.
The social club's on the bottom.
No, social club's now got 2 points.
Oh. Oops.
We'll get to that.
Oops.
Remember, they drew the first game.
Yes.
With Somerset.
With Somerset.
0-0.
Up Somerset.
Yeah. No, at Policefield.
At Policefield.
And then they got themselves a 2-2 draw on Sunday.
On Sunday. Yeah, that's two.
Yeah. Somerset Trojans lost 4-0 to PHC in Somerset on Friday night.
Well, I tell you, Earl, that's not a surprise.
No.
I think the surprise is the start that Somerset has gotten. And let's go back now. Let's go back to a couple of years.
You mean when they won the league?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
they had a quiet start.
Right.
But not as bad as this.
But remember, they had a very quiet start the following year also.
Yes. Yeah.
The very next year. Which ended up leading to the sacking of the coach.
Right.
To bring back in the former coach.
Now the current coach.
Who's the current coach.
Yes. Yeah. There's something that somebody's got to put a finger on the pulse up there. You look at it, they're scored in one game. They got 3 goals in that one game. They've played now 6 games. Yeah, 6 games. 1 point, 3 goals. It doesn't look good.
And conceded how many?
Let's see, 4, another 4, 3. That's 19. Close to 20 something goals.
And then the flip side, PAC has scored 20.
Yes. And conceded 2.
So that tells you all it entails. So I won't be like my boy Kyle Blakendow a couple years ago, calling for a coach's head before the November, because there is a break.
He was a year late though, wasn't he? A couple of years late.
Wow. He saw it coming, didn't he?
He was adamant. Danny Town need to make a change.
Yeah, and that was before the break.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting, because obviously they will be in this cup.
No.
Okay, so they're going to have a break. And what's going to happen coming out of this break, going to Christmas, I think is really going to see the base. Because they have, if you go up something right now, they have all the most respect and for Seymour. They do. Okay? But come Christmas, if they are where they are, you would start hearing some rumblings. I will promise you that.
Right. Right.
And that's basically a month of football.
Right. But then who do they turn to?
There's a few people out there.
Okay.
You know that too.
Oh, I do. I just thought I could twist your arm a little bit.
You know there's a few people out there.
Yeah.
And in saying that, and I'm pretty sure if these people were approached, they would jump in.
Kenneth ain't doing nothing. He could jump in.
Who?
Kenneth.
Oh.
Kenneth Howard.
Okay.
Kenneth Howard Randolph.
Oh, I would have never thought that. No. You know what? No. Let me just shut that down. No. That will not happen. No. You try no. No. That won't happen.
Let me say the last name for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Horton.
No, that won't happen.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
No. Come on.
You keep saying no. Why not?
No.
Been out of the game too long, or is it too much of a disciplinary?
All the above, plus some. You keep going on the list. To coach this generation here, you've got to be equipped with a few more things. And I say that because we talked about, just in life in general with this generation, there's a communication difference.
Yes.
How they communicate.
Yes.
And if you don't know how they communicate, it's hard to even get your message over.
Right.
Not to say that Mr. Horton don't, but that's a struggle. You could probably ask any youth coach right now. Any youth coach, how do you communicate with the little one? And there's a big difference between in 20 years. Well, for Horton's sake, 30 years ago.
Well, you know, he can command.
Yes, he was an educator. Yes, he was a disciplinarian.
A lot of fellas getting him.
Won't be a team, I'll tell you that. Good team next game. I'm just trying. No, it will not happen. It will not happen. I promise you. If it is, I'm going to Earl see the show for the rest of the year by itself. Yeah. See? Nah. And they finding them when
Well, Devonshire Cougars ran into the weekend without conceding a goal.
Oh, man, I had so much hope for the Lions.
We had a draw.
We did.
3-0.
But I tell you, Earl, and I've been seeing this for a while. It's hard to really pick for Denny Town or against Denny Town because one player can make a difference.
Right.
We saw that with his previous team. He's a player coach.
Yep.
And it's a different team when it's off the field.
Yeah. And he's proven that.
Yeah. And there's reasons why he plays some of these bigger matches. Now, Kwame, if you're going to play, let the Brown know. Because at least I know where I'm going with this here. When you want to take a break, let the Brown know. Then I can make an educated pick. But you're not making me look good here. You know, when I do pick Tom, you don't play.
Well, maybe he watches the show and decides rather not.
Look, just let me know. But it's a different team.
Yeah.
A different team.
Well, he changed the dynamics of any team he's been in. He has the ability to somehow get away from players, and then when he comes to the focal point of the opposition's coach to say, hey, you got to keep a check on Kwame. He drifts wide. He's inside. He's always in the mix of things. And his first game was when they played against Somerset, and just his ability to give guidance on the field. He's closer to the players. Being on the sideline, sometimes you don't get your message across. But being on the field, he's able to get hold of players and put them in the right areas and give them the right direction and so forth. I think he's still working through the transition of being able to do that from the sideline. But right now, he's more effective getting that message across on the field.
And we saw that happen with North Village with Ralph Gumbo being Jr. A couple of years ago. It's just a matter of how long can his body
Right.
withstand the game.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's getting a bit older now, and the recovery time,
Yeah.
it takes a little longer.
I see you guys training on Thursday. I can. Yeah. Tuesday I'll be there, but yeah.
So, in saying that, when he's in the squad, that confidence that you talked about, momentum, and it's basically confidence for a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
A lot of our players work off of confidence, and to beat Cougars as they were riding high, as you said, knocked Cougars off the top. But they were tied with PAC.
Yeah.
So, mind you, they are still there.
Oh yeah. They'll still feel good about themselves right now.
Oh,
I mean, that's one game, 3 points going, three.
And that's why how the coach would put it. Hey, one game.
Yeah.
Sweep it under.
On to the next, right?
On to the next one.
They got a semifinal match.
Yeah.
So next game, Lords in St. David's.
Yeah.
Lordy.
Did we get that one right? No?
Nope.
That's up on
We
that one.
both went for Boulevard.
Surely did.
Young Man Social Club came from behind.
The Bluebirds!
Twice get their first point.
No,
Second point, sorry. The second point.
Second point.
Their first goal of the
Yep.
season.
Yeah.
They got 2.
Yeah.
And move off the bottom of the table.
And once again, Clay Darrow.
Play down, yeah.
Clay Darrow.
Yeah. And the thing is, they scored 3 of the goals.
Yeah.
It was an in goal to go back up for Boulevard 2-1, and then a free kick with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah. What we've said before when it comes to the teams that are hovering down the bottom, it's all dependent on who's fit for the day. A lot of these teams don't have the depth of the higher teams.
Right.
So, and the quality that's on the bench. So when players do get tired,
Right.
can they, how can they go about it? But surprisingly enough, like I said, I think the shock was we was expecting Boulevard to and I think that's a missed opportunity for Boulevard.
Oh, yeah,
because
definitely.
That would have put them right below the leaders,
Right.
which now is clumped them up in the middle.
And it's got to be a worrying time for Boulevard because they struggle with training, a facility for lights and so forth. So they're trying to get as many points as they can with, before basically they have a problem with training, where they can train, how they can train, and so forth.
Because
So
this weekend is daylight savings ends, so
Right.
you're going to lose
Yeah,
that
so-
light at night.
right. So a huge missed opportunity for them to get 3 points.
And I tell you, it might be, I won't say worrying, but I think cautious time for Boulevard because they're going into the break. What we just talked about, like Summers are going into the break. I believe that period between November and December can be very cautious for them too because they're not that far away from that zone.
And the worrying thing is, they have already top teams to play.
Right, because if you look at Crossroads, they have 6 points now. They are 1 point below Boulevard.
Yeah.
So it could
Could you see Crossroads beating Somerset? But if that happened, look at them. They're 1 point away from double digits.
I mean, can you say that's just a game anybody could pick right now.
Yeah.
If you're looking at what we've seen so far this year, I'll give them a chance.
Oh yeah.
And so, like I said, if you give them another 3,
That's 9.
that's 9. And Boulevard has, the top because you got to think who Crossroads has played.
And the Crossroads have played Robin Hood.
Yes.
They've played Social Club. They've now played Boulevard.
North Village.
They played North Village. yeah. So those are the teams that Boulevard have to play now. So interesting times.
And it could be just as simple as North Village beating Boulevard.
That's right. Yeah.
Whereas Crossroads had took points from North Village. But very interesting time, like I said, coming up, going to the international, well, not the international break, but going to our break.
Right.
But let's go to the next game because I think
Robin Hood and Flanagan's Onions.
that was.
We always anticipated Robin Hood outscoring.
But I'll tell you what I did notice. Robin Hood probably some depth,
Oh yeah.
and it worries me because as defending champions, I don't see the numbers in the team,
Right.
and I'm seeing some very influential players not in the squad for whatever reasons.
Right.
I'm looking at the bench. We two could have sat on the bench.
I just say you saw our names.
Yeah, it was close enough.
Yeah.
because it was
We were 17, 18.
it was pretty bare.
Right.
So, and then they're gonna be playing around this tournament. So it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, players don't pick up a knock because from what you've seen, it's not much in the cupboard.
Right. Right. The good thing for them is that they can always pull players from the Corona League team.
Yes, most definitely.
Which will help their numbers. I'm not saying it's going to help their quality. but it's gonna help
And
their
think
numbers.
about it, Earl. Think about it. This is at the next game. A lot of those players will be eligible from the late transfer.
Yes.
Next league game.
Yes.
So
Actually,
it'll
that
be
list should be coming
interesting.
out very soon.
Yeah, so it's be interesting who goes where we've seen some names already. But it'd be interesting if teams like Robin will pick up a few more,
Yeah.
especially from the Corona League team.
Right. Well, that's it for the Premier Division.
Right?
In that, you got 1, 2, and 3. I got 3 as well
Oh, you got 3 as well.
in the Corona League. We both took Village, and you took Cougars, and I took a draw for Tawny Cougars. So 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. So
Yes?
I beat you in the first division side.
Yeah, you beat me by 1 in the first division side. Man, that's a small change.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
This is the one you beat me on. White Hill Field, Somerset Eagles beat Devonshire Colts.
And if you rewind the tape again, the last show, boy, you was adamant about that one there, boy.
Yeah, I was. I felt Devonshire Colts
You
were
was
more
strong in your conviction.
Yeah.
And the boys from the hill
Prove me wrong.
ran all over 'em.
I wouldn't say that. The score line was flattering.
Flattering.
Yeah. But now, if you look at it, Somerset Eagles have beaten Devonshire Colts 4-1 at home
Yes.
and Paget 4-1 at home.
Yes.
So, Fortress.
No, we're not getting there yet. We're not getting there yet. It'll be 2 games and you call it a fortress.
Fortress. A fortress.
Hold on. Hold on.
I didn't say a fortress.
Hold on. Then we had a few years ago, Hamilton Parish and then Wellington. What they did a couple of years ago. Come on now.
What did they call it?
What was it? Come on now.
I can't remember, man. They called it something.
Yeah. On the same turn.
Shattered. For Paris, shattered. But shocking result on Sunday.
Most definitely. Keep going.
My gosh. When I got that report 2-1 St. David's, I said, who's they play?
Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing that you want to notice from St. David's, goal scorer.
Yeah.
Diego McCallum. He's bounced around a bit. I'm going to be back down to St. David's now. And he's a worker.
Right.
He's a worker. And for him, he's picked up a few goals.
Right.
But no, I want to say he's on 4 or 5 for the season.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's scored almost every game. So it's going to be interesting. I want to say almost because we're talking about 6 games now.
Right.
I want to say at least 3 or 40 games he scored. That would have been a name we would have said it would have been goal scorer for St. David's coming into the season.
Right. Right.
So that bodes well for St. David's where they're getting goals where you wouldn't expect them to get goals. But it also causes a concern where they're not getting goals where you think they should be getting goals.
Well, for a coach, it goes two ways, because if you look at it, okay, we got these goals from a surprise player, but the points are still there.
Most definitely.
And I just need to, as a coach, I just need to work on those players whose confidence are low right now on scoring goals.
Well, I tell you, we've gone through this exercise with St. David's many times before, and very similar to Social Club prior to last year. Very much the same thing. Getting into the Christmas break, you always see them around the top half of the table. And then after Christmas break, and we even expected last year to Social Club to even come back to the pack,
right?
Because they got off to such a fast start. We kept waiting for them to come back to the pack, come back to the pack, come back to the pack. They really never came back to the pack.
Just allow Crossroads to catch them.
Just allow Crossroads to catch them. So it'll be interesting what happens after the Christmas break. So unlike we talked about earlier, there's other teams, the cautious period between November and December. I don't think St. David's is there. They're probably feeling very good at what they're doing.
Without a doubt,
But I will say, Croc will in goal.
Not in goal.
Well, he's been down there helping out.
Right.
And he's obviously been on the Danny Tom made the cup run.
Right.
He was very influential then. He's bringing that confidence and that experience and adding it with a lot of youngsters down there that are really they're hanging in.
He's on the score sheet regularly.
Well, I saw that too.
Yeah, well, multi-talented.
We didn't expect him being a scorer coming into the season either.
Well, if he's converting penalty kicks, then even
and he was doing that. He was doing that at Danny Town too.
Yeah. Well, the Battle of the Rangers. We said the Battle of the Rangers. We're in no contest.
You said the Battle of the Rangers.
Yeah, it was a battle of the two Rangers. It was no contest. You said no contest.
Yeah, the battle needs to be competitive. Was it competitive? Yes or no?
Started off 0-0.
So we can say the scoreline was flattering too?
Oh, no.
7-2 was flattering?
No. I said it started off 0-0.
Well, yeah, every game starts off 0-0.
Yeah, that girl averaging every 10 minutes. Because it ended 7-2.
And it's just a different quality. Different quality.
Different pay scale too, maybe?
No, you can call it whatever you like. You know, money doesn't discriminate. You look at it like that. But no, I mean, but Earl, if you look at it, we talked about last year about the history of Paget prior to conceding over 100 goals, you know, up until last year. Well, you know who was always conceded over 100 goals?
Island Rangers. The 20 or after 5.
29 after 5. So, my bet, my $2.
But they were nearly 100?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
in fourth gear.
Could you imagine...
if they could continue on this road.
Could you imagine if you were coming hitting cricket right now, 5 overs, no maidens,
none for...
No, 5 for 18, 29, sorry, 5 for 29.
Yeah, but that's pretty good in that.
No. The team is 5.
Oh, the team is 5. Oh, yeah.
5 wickets down for 29 after 5 overs.
Yeah. That's help get off the field before everybody comes. Our bases got the camera coming quick. Ref, blow the whistle. We don't want extra time, injury time.
No wides. Don't go no wides.
Yeah. But no, it's gonna be interesting. And I'm just gonna throw this out there, cause you know, being around the Somerset area and Dockyard area, you know, you hear guys talk banter.
Right.
You know, you go out to Waters and have a nice fish sandwich out there. You hear guys banter a bit. I'm just gonna ask you personally, right? Cause you've seen it's a different league. I'll throw this out there.
No way.
What's the chance of West End and Island Rangers were to play?
Oh, Island Rangers. I thought you was going to say something as churches.
No.
If West End and Island Rangers were to play,
West End from the Corona League.
I would have to give the edge to Island Rangers. Let me tell you why.
Please.
Okay.
Because I'm going the other way.
Island Rangers are playing against teams that are a little more fitter.
Mm-hmm.
So the pace of the game is a little faster for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would wear West End down a lot quicker. West End are playing, they've got a lot of younger guys,
Mm-hmm.
but the pace of the games in which they're playing,
Mm-hmm.
if they had to change it up for a 90-minute game, guys would be a little more cautious so they wouldn't go as much as they would need to. And I would give the edge to Island Rangers.
And I would say good bit of players on the West End team have a good bit of experience.
Yes.
And they will know how to manage not only their physical abilities, but also style of play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to chase a guy up and down the flank.
Right.
I'm going to make them come to me.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have a better understanding of spacing. And I think they have better finishes.
Yeah.
And when girls win games.
Yeah. But I would personally still give that edge to.
Based on you're hoping that Island Rangers will run them in the ground.
Yeah.
But it would never happen. So that's something we just talk about.
Yeah, you're probably putting it into fruition right now. It's probably going to happen. I see a Christmas Cup, Island Rangers and West End United.
That could be probably next year's FA.
Hey, league champions in one division, cellar dwellers in another.
Ooh. Ooh.
Would that be something?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dockyard Cup.
Yeah. No, it's the Ireland Cup.
Whatever you want to look at it.
Well, we both got this next one wrong.
Yeah, what was that one?
At Wellington Oval.
You know what? And I was on. I should no. I'll just go with the home team.
That's what you said.
That's the only reason I went to.
But actually, you didn't. We went for a draw.
Based on the home team. Last week with Patrick beating BA.
Right.
I should have just wrote it down as a blip.
Right.
That's just something just.
Well, they did.
On the day.
Yeah.
Just a blip.
They wrote it down as a blip because.
Oh, did they?
They defeated St. George's 4-0. Not expected. I didn't expect it.
You didn't expect it. But from my reports, it should have been more. Should have been more.
Right. Well, they had, listen, BA right now have two of the best football minds guiding them.
Mm-hmm.
They would not have taken last week's loss to Pedrick very lightly.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have demanded more from their players this week in training and in the game to get back to where they needed to be.
Sometimes, and you never want to get into say that a loss it was a good loss.
Right.
No coach ever wants to hear that.
Right.
Because a loss is still a loss.
Yes.
But in saying that, sometimes now I can grab your attention. Because it's very similar to North Village with Crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
BA went into last week's match, obviously,
Yeah.
through their history,
Right.
to put some girls in pageant. So now, like you said, to grab that attention, the coach didn't have to say much.
No.
He just could have gave him the look. Oh, you thought you was good, did you? But you couldn't be.
Right. Now you listen to what I'm telling you.
So it's not. Okay.
It's all good.
It's football.
Yeah. When we talked about St. David's edging Hamilton Parish, which was a kind of a shocker, but the scoreline, not the result.
I was going to say the
Just the
scoreline.
scoreline. Yeah. And then Paget Lions
Yes.
beating Wolves 3-0.
Yep.
We both took that match. No surprise. Paget's coming off of that 3-1 victory over BAA, feeling good about themselves. And without a doubt, they're running hot right now of confidence. I wouldn't say they're playing to the potential in which they want to play, but the confidence is there, and they're scoring goals. So.
I'm just gotta ride the wave.
Yes, indeed. Well, the first division saw you get 4 right. I got 3 right. So the total for the week saw you get 7. I got 6. I moved on to 33, and you moved on to 30. So you're 3 behind now.
Like I said.
The train is coming.
Like I said. Keep an eye on you, mate. Reel you in.
Chugga chugga, chew chew. We'll be back after these messages from our sponsor.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Jay Nakiwels is on the mend. He's back in training. He played in a match last week, a reserve match, and last night he played. Played with the under-23s. They lost 6-1, but the coach of the under-23 development team, full of high praises for Naki, wouldn't give up, kept trying to give guidance, worked hard, played the entire 90 minutes. Last week, I got a message to the Burnley media team to ask Coach Sean Dyche about Naki Wells' progress. And in a press conference, he managed to answer the question asked. So let's get Sean Dyche's update on Naki Wells from last week.
Cool. Can I ask you about the, I've thought of Bermudan friends on asking about Naki. Obviously, he's sort of starting his career. He's effectively in pre-season, isn't he, in a minute? But how's Naki settled and how's he going?
Good. He's getting used to the players, used to what we do, the whole feel of the environment. And for him, you're right. It's what fans just give him a view of it. It is like his pre-season. Now, in a pre-season, you'd never just play 190 minutes and go, right, you're fit. You just wouldn't do that. So therefore, he needs a run of games now, back-to-back games, to get his real inner fitness and his real sharpness up. Then we'll look at the idea of him coming into the squad, in its real form, where we actually consider him one who we can pick again, But at the moment, still in that sort of early phase, game phase, if you like, of pre-season. The support work's been done. Now it's about getting 90 minutes and over a constant basis.
Wow, you've heard from the man himself. But overnight, last night, or yesterday, English media, a name came up after the sacking of the Everton coach. Who could be the next contender for the Everton coach? And guess whose name came up?
SG?
Sam Dyche. So it's going to be interesting because we've seen when, especially we go back as far as Sean Goda, we've seen a coach bring a player to a team, and then a coach moves on, and the player be left fall out of favor with another coach who might have another style and not fit their style.
Right.
But it's just still rumored.
Right. Well, he was rumored with who got fired last week. Someone got fired last week, and his name was top of the bill for that. And he basically said, you know what? I'm not dealing with any of that. I'm preparing my team.
That's the thing he has to say.
Right.
But for most of these coaches, this would be an upgrade for him. Career-wise, because it's a bigger club.
Right. No, you're in 6th place.
Yeah.
With a team that everybody had relegated or fighting for relegation. You've built something. Do you really want to
It's something that, but then again, you don't know where he might have some loyalties to the club,
Right,
previously.
right.
So you don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but I only put it out there because we've seen this even happen with Naki already,
Yeah,
and he's been able to overcome it.
right.
So hopefully he will get his chance
Very soon.
very soon, because if that happens, he's gonna need something to build on.
I think Naki will play a reserve division match, another 90 minutes. They're not too concerned about him scoring yet. It's more getting that match fitness in.
I told you December. They're going to need him in December,
Right.
And that's because the amount of games they have to play.
Yeah.
So
But I think he'll play sometime in November. So just because he'll start out on the bench and obviously be introduced to games and games and games, and then you could see that over that Christmas
I can see
break.
that Christmas break, him actually starting
A lot of a heavy involvement in the team.
Yeah, I definitely
And
see
if
that.
the girls start going in, then
Yeah.
he becomes a regular.
But I just thought I'd throw that in because
Yeah.
I heard it last night on the news.
Yeah.
In the UK news.
Right.
Be interesting how that plays out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Jay, over the weekend, Darry Rollins played the second half of a match. And I say a second half of a match because in Australia, they play 2 weekends. So whoever wins the toss, they decide what they're going to do the first weekend and then the second weekend. So for Delray, last weekend, they batted. This weekend, they were in the field. There was a ceremony prior to the start of the match where Delray received his Sydney Cricket Club cap. Let's get that little presentation to Delray, and when we come back, we'll talk about his performance.
You'll learn a bit from us, but more importantly, our players will learn a fair bit from you. Go out and enjoy yourself, play well. I'm sure you'll fit in extremely well. Best of luck. All right, mate.
Before you even get back into the story, that tradition is throughout not only in Australia but also in England.
Yeah.
And I remember, you remember years ago that we wore a lot of those type of caps. And there was some talk about bringing that back for players that are coming into a team.
Right.
Wearing those traditional caps of sorts. And to say, this is your cap, because that is your badge.
Right.
Yeah. Be interesting if the BCB looks a little bit more into it. Obviously, it'll probably have to be funded.
I know when Gus Luggy was coaching the team.
Yes.
He used to do that.
Yes.
Any player coming to the team, the players used to get in a circle.
Yes.
And the captain would then present the player with a cap, marking his debut into the team.
Yes.
So hopefully.
And that is something, like I said, because Gus is coming from that culture. He knows exactly. That is all in part of it.
And if anything, it lifts that player for the day.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And not only that, also the youngsters are thriving to get that cap. That's the whole part when you hear players being capped.
Right.
That is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Is actually get the actual cap, not just
itself.
playing.
Yeah.
Getting the cap, and that's where the term comes from.
Right.
So not only in cricket but also in football too. The football, they have a rich tradition of how many caps you play for your international team.
Yeah.
And you will get a cap.
That all is part of your resume as an athlete. How many times you were capped by your club? How many times were you capped by your country?
And scouts.
Yeah. Or appearances for club and capped for country.
Even when you talk about our youngsters, if we have youngsters who represent our under 15 or whatever coming up, that goes on the resume.
Oh yeah.
And we know schools.
Oh, they're looking.
They are looking for.
Right now, I'm pretty sure
cap.
there's quite a few young ladies who can send a resume right now to plenty of schools in the U.S. that would, or even in England, that would grab them wholeheartedly right now
because
for their competition.
that stands out.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd just point that out.
But Delray ended up bowling 14 overs, 2 for 40.
2 for 40.
The match ended in a draw. If you look at the batting lineup of the team, Campbellton, Bell, Town, Camden. One guy faced 210 balls for 70 odd runs.
Yeah.
They were literally in trouble.
Yeah.
And batted the 96 overs for a draw.
Yeah.
I think the player batted 35 overs himself. The amount of balls he faced added up to 35 overs. Could you imagine?
Well, we talked about it, but we talked about even Delray on the flip side of it. We saw it early in the season with his patience batting long, and that's what it takes. The amount of concentration that it takes to bat, just even an hour, or what we call a session.
Yeah, because the session's what, 2 hours?
2 hours. So if you're looking at sometimes when you're from the morning session or the early afternoon session, or even the late session, just batting through a session, you'd be surprised how much of a toll it takes on you. Now, when you start adding 2 sessions together, 3 sessions together, are better for the whole day.
Yeah. Body, you're losing so much fluid. Because people, I mean, you sit around and people are always saying, why do the batsmen drink so much water, like in between overs? And I said, well, you got to remember that they've got on all that gear, plus they're thinking.
Yes.
And they're mobile. So everything that they have in their body is working right now, and they're losing so much water that they have that intake has to come, because they say, oh, they're just standing around. But you stand around with all that gear on, and you're thinking you're thinking what your next move has to be. You're trying to outthink the bowler. You see the bowler exerting the physicality of running in and bowling, but the batsman just looks like he's standing there. But so much more is going on for the batsman, and he's expanding so much energy.
It's interesting, and you know what? That's something I think that your next interview with Delray, talk more about ask more about the concentration that you need for those long batting things, or knowing the condition of the game,
right?
Because that's what we talk about a lot of times. Yeah. What is needed from me at this time
to get
to make the team successful,
right?
What does how does, because he might want to go in and some game plan, but depending on how the game plays out,
right?
Now what is needed from, and we've seen him be able to adjust,
right?
So I just would like to hear a little bit of what does go through his thought pattern.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay,
I can get up in time because he's 14 hours ahead.
You heard him, right?
Yeah, you heard him. Well, Jay, we're going to end tonight with the opening ceremony of the Bermuda Netball Association's Winter League play. They had a march on by the teams and a shooting contest. Let's show that video in its entirety of the opening ceremony and the shootout for the Bermuda Netball Association's Winter League season.
Linda's Tigers. Oh, you're talking about the game. Hey, you guys walk fast. I'm saying that. You said you was leaving. You should go. You made me look at the look hot, Earl. Look like a picture.
Idea.
You're lying.
Over there.
Make sure you big up Phoenix. I have nothing to say.
You still got energy after you still got energy? Hello there.
See purple dot?
Right, Charlie.
No. Good on one. Good on one. Oh my God.
According to email. I'll confirm it.
Yeah, it is.
Liverpool play at 12, so watch as much of that as possible.
Right.
So coming on here.
Right, okay.
And then I ain't got to go Garrison. That means I'll probably have to leave half time.
Right.
Take your time.
I'm upset.
Why are you upset? What I didn't talk about.
I'm upset.
Golf.
That too.
What?
But let's stick with the netball. You could have put the camera up, press record, and show these ladies how to put the ball in the net, or pass the net, or pass, or show them what not to do, or you're saving yourself for next year. You have anything to say, Mr. Baston?
I'm one and done. One and done.
Man, to watch those ladies, man, and you can see they really enjoy what they're doing.
Oh yeah,
that's the beautiful thing about sports. And now, obviously, with them starting the season off, you're looking forward to a lot of competition.
Mm-hmm.
And good luck to all the ladies down at Bernard's Park.
Yeah. But before we go, congratulations to Ocean View Golf Course.
Yes.
For defeating Clearview
Yes.
out of Ohio
We talked
this
about
weekend
them.
in
Yeah.
2-day play at the Ocean View Golf Course.
Kicked them up. Yeah, we did. We did.
Kenneth Ford.
Yeah.
Good job.
Enough for.
Good night.